Hi guys, this is Mike Hale from the Comic Book Syndicate. We're here with Champ Ian at Snack Barbecue, and we are here to talk about something that you're not going to want to hear. We've got a friend named Jamie Greer, who we're all familiar with here in Windsor. He thinks that the only reason that we don't like the Star Wars prequel trilogy is because other people don't like it. What do you think, Ian?
I can understand that sentiment.
Okay.
I understand how it is at times popular to dislike things that other people dislike.
Sure.
It's fun to shake your fist at something, even if you don't understand it. That's not the case with me. I'm certain that's not the case with you. I don't think that's the case with the general population.
Hey, I hated Phantom Menace when I first saw it, and then I kind of grew to like it. I loved Attack of the Clones, and then I hated it. So you know what? On that note, I'm going to give Ian my list of the 10 best things about the prequel trilogy, and we're going to see what he thinks of my list, okay? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Number 10. The number 10 good thing about the prequel trilogy is the special effects of the terrain in the pod race. And the reason I say that is because when I first saw the movie, I thought it was a real desert. Did you know that it was special effects?
I didn't know there was special effects. That's okay.
See, I am not a big fan of CGI, and so for that reason, I think it's important because I didn't know it was CGI. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
It also moves so quickly, though. Right? Even bad CGI, moving at that speed, is going to be more convincing because you don't have time to really focus on any of the imperfections.
So that's a sign that they used it correctly, right? You don't notice the flaws.
It's a sign they used it correctly.
Okay.
Sure. I'll give you that point.
Okay.
I'll give you that point.
Number 9. Hold my microphone for a second. This. Darth Maul's Mussolini pose when he first appears in a hologram next to Palpatine. What did you think of that?
I thought no. It looks silly.
Why? Why did it look silly?
He's trying too hard. He's got to puff his chest out, look all, ooh, I'm tough, I'm a bad guy.
You know what? I don't even like that actor, but I thought that was a great moment. Okay. So far, Ian's not impressed. All right, let's see what we got here. Hold on a sec here. Number 8, when they introduced Queen Amidala, remember she appears on the screen? Do you remember the sound effect that they used? That ooh, it's like a flute. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was basically a recreation of the sound effect they used whenever someone would appear on Flash Gordon. And for that reason, I think it's really cool. What did you think of that sound effect, Ian?
I didn't even really notice the sound effect. I know the sound effect you're talking about right at the beginning of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
when,
the first 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. It was a neat little sound effect. I mean, the sound design was generally solid in all of the films.
Good sound design, says Ian Phillips. All right. Number 7. This is an editing thing, okay? In Attack of the Clones. You remember when they've got the Queen in the bedroom and they're waiting for her to be assassinated because they're stupid? Anyway, remember the part where they're talking? And then mid-sentence, Anakin's talking, and he...
I sense it too.
Yeah!
I think he's a good man. I sense it too.
And it cuts in the middle of the sentence. That edit, that line, what do you think, Ian? Do you like that line?
It was a competent bit of editing. It was one of the few times in the films where I can remember an edit driving the pace.
Okay.
Because most of the time it just tends to drag on and drag on and drag on. At that point, they cut to something exciting that's happening over there, which doesn't really seem to happen beyond the CGI scenes, right? You don't see that in the prequels during any of the talking parts.
You're right.
Right? Now I'm gonna give you partial credit on that because it's one of the dumbest scenes ever. I mean, an attempted assassination by centipedes crawling through a window. No.
But the edit's good. The reaction's good.
Yeah, that one little edit.
That one little edit. Yeah. So it sounds like you're saying that my expectations are so low that when they do one thing right, I give it extra points. Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is that we're at number 7 out of 10 on your list, and you're talking about one edit in one moment of one film as being a positive point of 3 movies spanning roughly 8 hours of time.
Let's go to number 6 then. Let's see how this changes. Okay, number 6. I like the fact that all of a sudden in Attack of the Clones, okay? Remember how in Phantom Menace there was no characters and there was all wooden acting and flat dialogue? In Attack of the Clones, they tried to address that problem by making the characters conflict a little bit. So if you remember, when they're sitting down on the couch talking to Jar Jar and Queen Amidala, there's a part where Anakin kind of like speaks out of line. And Anakin goes, what? And then they have this little argument that Mike Stoklosa didn't like, but I liked.
And you will pay attention to my lead.
Why? What? Why else do you think we were assigned to her if not to find the killer?
And then later on in the movie, when Anakin's talking to Queen Amidala, he kind of like interrupts her in front of all the other delegates, and then they have this little spat.
Hold on a minute.
Excuse me. I was thinking I would stay in the Lake Country. There's some places up there that are very isolated.
Excuse me.
And then later on in the movie, when they're in the helicopter, she falls out of the helicopter. And he's like, stop the helicopter, we have to go back and get Padme.
Don't let your personal feelings get in the way. Follow that speeder.
And then Obi-Wan's like, you will be expelled from the Jedi Order, or whatever. I like the fact just that they're disagreeing. I mean, to me, that is, I mean, it may not be great writing, but at least it's writing, right? Like, what do you think of that? Good drama?
No, not at all. Not at all. Sure, a little bit of conflict is good.
Okay.
But in the context of the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin, we are seeing them at a very early stage disagreeing all the time. We don't see them ever really getting along. Now,
But that's how all my relationships are.
well, maybe you're on the path to the dark side yourself.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna quote Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 4: A New Hope, as he's talking to Luke Skywalker, that Anakin was a good friend.
Okay.
There's
no evidence of that.
There is absolutely no evidence of Anakin and Obi-Wan ever being friends. All they do is argue with each other, and certainly arguing with each other is better than just nothing at all. But unless it has already been established by things that we see, we never see these things. We are told that they are friends. We never see them do anything friendly, even remotely friendly. So we can't really look at them arguing as being drama because it doesn't fit. There are a couple of people who don't like each other unless their relationship grows at some point.
But it doesn't grow.
In one way or another. If they started off disliking each other, as they appear to in Attack of the Clones, and if they were to grow to like each other in the future, much in the way that Han Solo and Luke Skywalker didn't care for each other, and they ended up becoming friends at the end, that's what they call an arc. And there is no arc of any sort between those two characters. So them arguing, I really can't look at that as being good drama.
So let's call this top 10 list an arc, and we'll see if at the end of it we agree on these particular points, okay?
I'm looking forward to the top
10.
10.
Yeah, it's okay, wait. Number 5, okay? Number 5 is Christopher Lee's acting. Now, for those that don't know, Christopher Lee was already an acting legend when he did this film. I think he's been in more films than any other actor in history. He was famous for being Dracula and the Frankenstein's Monster and the Hammer films. That scene when he first walks in and Obi-Wan is like floating in midair, remember? And Christopher Lee walks in and he mentions Qui-Gon Jinn. And look at the look on Christopher Lee's face when he mentions his old master and he's like, I wish that he was here right now.
I wish he were still alive. I could use his help right now.
It's like, hey, give that guy the worst dialogue in the world and Christopher Lee is going to pull emotion and meaning out of it. Did you agree that Christopher Lee's acting is good as Count Dooku?
Yes, I will agree to that point. That particular scene, I was sort of chuckling at it a little bit just because the way that Obi-Wan is floating around in that little wraith thing. I mean, the fact that he was spinning slowly in a circle, kind of maybe chuckle a little bit. Like, so Count Dooku's kind of walk around the little thing so we can talk to him to his face. I was like, just hold him in one spot. But no, the acting, Christopher Lee.
I also have to point out, I mean, Christopher Lee in that little, consortium of people in Attack of the Clones was the only human actor. If you remember, the rest of the people plotting and deceiving were all CGI, like Muppets and like, the we must turning the dial on his chest. Like, come on, get a real actor, put him in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
Number 4. Oh boy, hello folks. I think that when Lucas did it, Revenge of the Sith, even though it's credited just to him, I think he got a co-writer because that scene when Palpatine is telling the story of Darth Plagueis, I thought that scene was awesome. Okay, the story itself was awesome, and the way that Anakin is sucked in by the story is awesome, and the way that at the end of the scene, Anakin goes,
"Is it possible to learn this power?"
And Palpatine goes,
"Not from a Jedi."
Meaning from a Sith. Did you like that part?
No.
Okay,
No,
great.
it was.
working.
We're back on track. We're back
Okay,
on track
good.
after that.
Yeah. That
Christopher.
one, I had one
After that
point.
Christopher Lee point, I was starting to think that
okay.
maybe these are good movies after all.
doubted.
No. I didn't care for that scene. The set was weird. It kind of threw me off a little bit. They're sitting in front of this giant spinny ball with all this stuff floating in it, and I was like, what is it?
Futuristic opera.
Yeah, it was silly. It was distracting. But the entire conversation itself. I mean, at this point, Anakin is he's looking for a Sith Lord, right? That's sort of what his what he's supposed to be doing at that point.
For 3 movies. Yeah.
For 3 movies, yeah. So he's sitting next to he's sitting next to Chancellor Palpatine there, and he's basically like, hey, I'm a Sith. Anakin's not getting it. He's not getting it. He doesn't seem to be aware, even in the slightest, that Chancellor Palpatine is in any way evil. And he's just oozing evil. It's obvious that he is a Sith. And the fact that Anakin can't get it, dramatically, it was a good little monologue, interesting little story, but the fact that Anakin missed the entire point of it, it strained my belief, and it took me out of the story a bit.
Okay. Number 3, the romance is better in The Revenge of the Sith. And the reason it's better is because the actors, even though the dialogue is equally as crappy, the actors are a little bit more spontaneous, so that when they're talking to each other in their apartment, whatever they have, when he's like staring at her, and he's like,
You're so beautiful.
and she's like,
It's only because I'm so in love.
and then he's like,
No. No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
wasn't that good? Didn't you think that was good?
No.
The acting?
Cringe-worthy scene.
I admit the dialogue was bad. Didn't you think the acting was good? No.
No, not at all. There was no redeeming qualities about that scene. No
They were
redeeming qualities.
smiling though.
They were smiling. They're quite clearly 2 actors who are pretending to be in love with each other.
Doesn't that show that they're in love though? Isn't that all love is?
No, let's hear your real number 3, because that can't be your number 3.
No, that was my number 3. Number 2, Queen Amidala's wardrobe. Talk to me, Ian. What did you think?
Oh, I can't picture myself in any of those outfits. I don't know. It's
But at least there was some creativity there, right? There's a little bit like.
yeah. It was more interesting than everyone wearing robes.
See, I didn't care about it when it came out, but then when Attack of the Clones came out 3 years later after Phantom Menace, I felt nostalgia for the wardrobes in Phantom Menace. So for that reason, I think it was good.
I'm gonna say it's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay, we have elevated to not bad. Here we go. Ready, guys? The number 1 greatest thing about the prequel trilogy, Senator Palpatine, Ian McDormand. Or is it McDormand? Or I have no idea how to pronounce his name.
I believe it was Ian McDermott.
That's the one.
I believe it was Ian McDermott. Yeah.
This guy is in a different movie than every other actor, okay? You have Liam Neeson, you have Ewan McGregor, you have Natalie Portman, you have Jake Lloyd. They're all in some other movie. Ian what's his name? He is in like Hamlet. This guy is so good. He probably only did 1 take for each line, but he gives so much passion to each line. Plus the fact that they had the same actor that played the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, he carries it through. And basically, because of his performance and because of how important he is to the story, now the Star Wars sixtology is about him. Really, what do you think, Ian? What did you think of his character?
I agree completely. I agree absolutely completely with this 1 point.
2 points. 2 points. But anyway,
Well,
yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
The one character, Ian McDermott, the saving grace of the Star Wars prequels. And not just the way that he acts, but the way that the character is written.
Yeah.
The character is written well. He has an agenda. He has a goal that he's trying to achieve. He's evil. He knows that he's evil. He likes being evil. And that is something that's missing from every single other character in the films. They don't have the same focus that he does. They don't seem to care about what they're doing.
It gives you focus.
It gives you focus.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, yes, I agree completely. Ian McDermott, the crown jewel of those films.
Wow, talk about saving the best for last. Okay, so there you go. It only took me 10 points, but I got 1.5 agreements out of Ian. There are 10 good things about the prequel trilogy. I think there's 1.5 good things about the prequel trilogy according to this guy. But no matter what, we're going to find out on December 17th or 18th if it can be superseded by another trilogy by J.J. Abrams. What do you think, Ian? Give me 1 sentence. What do you think?
I don't think it can get any worse.
Okay.
I'm guardedly optimistic. but I've been tricked. I've been tricked 3 times before.
Yes.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Fool me 4 times.
There we go, folks. Star Wars, the original trilogy, Star Wars, the prequel trilogy, and now Star Wars, the bullshit trilogy. Who knows what they'll call it, right? Anyway, we'll find out. Thank you very much, Champion Phillips, for joining us after many years behind the scenes of being involved with the Syndicate and different forms. This is Champion Phillips, this is Mike L., and this is the Comic Book Syndicate. We'll see you soon.